All right, welcome to tonight's team call. I cannot believe how far into February we already are. I don't know about you, but I felt like January was the longest month of my life, and I feel like February is just flying by. I I don't know, it's weird. But I'm really excited about everything that's going on for all of you as coaches and as our team continues to grow and thrive and just bring on new members. And it's so fun seeing some of you new girls on here. So thank you for being a part of our team call. I know we were just talking about different time slots and that might change a little bit, but we do meet every single week. Here virtually, and it's just a great way to really get to know each other better since we are all over the United States, Canada. Hopefully we'll get some UKers soon, right? Maybe even France. Aren't we launching in France this year? Oh yeah, we're doing that. I don't speak French, so I don't know that that will be my market, but maybe it's yours. But anyways, it's just a great way to really get to know people. You know, I feel like I felt like I'll just use Cece for an example, all the way in Ohio. I felt like I knew her so well by the time we actually met in real life, like 10 months later, maybe not that long, eight, nine, something like that. Like a long time later, we actually got to meet in real life, and I felt like I already knew her. Like I felt like she was like my sister, and I could just pick up a normal conversation, even though when I drove up to get her at the airport, I had never seen her in my real life ever before. Kind of fun. And I think that's one thing that makes this business so fun. So anyways, I hope I get to meet all of you at Summit, those of you who I haven't met yet. And I just am, doing a little plug for our Tuesday night meetups. It will be so great to get to be together at Summit, but Tuesday calls are a great way to get to know each other in the meantime and on the regular. There's one thing about this business, even though it's our own business and we're all our own CEOs, it really does make it more fun to do it together as a team. So lean in, get to know us. Don't be shy on these calls. Don't be shy on the team page. Speak up. We want to hear from all of you. But you don't want to hear from me anymore tonight. I am boring. I want to introduce our leader of the call tonight, Miss Cece. So a little bit about Cece. She has been killing it literally since the day she signed up. We met via the gram back last spring-ish, and it was nice to kind of get to know another mom. Even though she had just had her first, having my fourth, I probably came across as like the annoying, like, okay, you've had all these kids, like whatever. I don't know, but we bonded over breastfeeding, and then now here we are. I feel like she's one of my best friends. So that's one thing this business can do for you. But she came in hot, and she told her story loud and proud from the beginning of coaching on what these little containers have done for her. By the way, I keep trying to tell myself, don't call them little, call them colored or something else, because we don't want people thinking they're little, meaning not enough food. These amazing colored containers we have. She's been so great about sharing her transformations. She's been so great about sharing what these programs are doing for her. She's been so consistent and amazing at putting herself out there in this business. And she's one of the fastest growing diamonds we've had on this team. Just come out the gates hot and get herself to diamond. She's one of the most consistent Success Club earners. She will be a Success Club All-Star this spring, which means she will have 12 consecutive months in Success Club, which means she has helped at least 3 people every single month since she joined, which is remarkable. So congrats, Cece. I can't wait to hear what you have to share with the team tonight. I'm going to let you take it away.
Oh man, it's happening. Thank you so much. So basically, I'm just going to start off with my story and a little bit about me. And then I'm just going to go over a couple things that I just feel like have been game changers for me in my business, whether it's mindset or it's hopefully tangible things that you can take away from this call. And I hope that you can take everything that I say, no matter where you are in your business, whether you're just starting or you are pushing for emerald or pushing for diamond and beyond. Because I really feel like this business is just, no matter where you are, you're just always learning. I think that it's pretty clear that you just never stop learning. Always new things coming up. So I am, like Andy said, from Ohio. I just taking it back. I've always been an athlete growing up, played collegiate softball, got a college coaching job right out of college, an assistant college coach, worked my butt off for 3 years, working 60-hour weeks. A quarter of that I wasn't even paid for. My dog wants to come in. um, and so I worked really, really hard and for 3 years and in hopes that I would get this head coach position job. And I was offered the head coach position job and for the following year, so what would have been my 4th year, and I ended up getting pregnant and we had to make the decision that I would just be a stay-at-home mom. And that really was what was best for us. And we could do it with my husband's job. So we just said, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I had Eli and my son. And I was one of those people who just was sick my entire pregnancy. I was running, killing myself on a treadmill for months and months and months before I got pregnant because I wanted to be as skinny as I could before I got pregnant. And as soon as I hit that 6-week mark, I was done until like 25 weeks. So it didn't work out at all and had Eli and just started struggling with a lot of things that I'd never struggled with before in my whole entire life, like postpartum depression. I got double mastitis. I had to have emergency gallbladder surgery 2 months postpartum. I had this thing called DEMER, which is when you are breastfeeding and when your letdown is happening, you have this dysphoria. And it's these like horrible, horrible thoughts. And I literally thought my body was rejecting my child. But then I found out that was a thing. My dog is like always up in my business. But anyway, so I was just really, really struggling in all the ways. And so I was actually scrolling on the good old IG and I saw this blonde girl breastfeeding her baby, and I read her post and she was talking about how she was basically transitioning to the fact that this was going to be her last couple times breastfeeding Delaney, her youngest daughter, because of, the doctors basically wanted her to, because of growth and whatever it was. So she really had no other choice. She had to stop. And here I was like contemplating quitting breastfeeding because I was struggling with all this stuff. And I saw her post and it just connected with me. And it was one of the reasons why I decided to just continue breastfeeding and suck it up, because like I think that is just such a huge, valuable thing. Hopefully my internet connection is unstable. Is that I would never have signed up if I hadn't seen that post and she hadn't invited me. And the two went together. If I would have just seen her invite, I don't know, I maybe would have signed, I don't know, but I 100% signed up with her because I saw that post. And that is just something I'll touch on later, but it's just so important to be vulnerable and to share your journey, every single bit of it, not just your health and fitness journey, but other aspects of it too that are maybe hard for you to talk about, because that's when you really connect with people. Anyway, so saw that, decided to sign up. I signed up as a challenger. I didn't sign up as a coach. Was very skeptical of all the things. And I actually signed up with Ultimate Portion Fix during the launch of that, and was 2 weeks in, was like feeling better than I'd felt like ever, and just decided this was going to be my life. This was it. I'd found the thing that I found the secret way to make this a lifestyle and to do this forever. Never had I found something like that before. So I decided to just go all in and basically hit the ground running. I signed up at the end of April. And so basically, technically, I've been coaching since May, really. And interestingly enough, I actually never asked anyone, I don't even know if Andy knows this, but I never asked anyone to sign up as a coach until Morning Meltdown launch. So I never even gave them the opportunity to sign up as a discount coach because I was so scared and all I wanted to do. So please don't follow my lead. I tell all my coaches this. I'm like, please don't do what I did, please. Because things would have happened much quicker if I would have been bold and, asked people. So technically until the Morning Meltdown 100 launch, went Emerald literally overnight and realized how easy it was and how it really is just the better deal. It's the better way to go about it. You get that discount and then you get this opportunity eventually down the line. And just kind of built up from there. And so basically I've been coaching, this is my 10th month, and I hit Diamond like the week before the November 20th cutoff, I think. And then was able to go on the Diamond Retreat, and that was just a game changer for my business. And honestly, I knew without a doubt that I had to be on that retreat. I didn't care how it happened, but I was getting to Diamond, and I was going to get on that retreat because I knew it was going to change everything for me. And honestly, I really wanted to meet Andy and all of these other women that I love. So that's kind of my quick little story, not really quick, but in a nutshell of my journey so far. And so I really just this is going to be really quick, just realizing. But I'm going to go over a couple things that I just really think have been game changers. And then I'm actually going to ask you a question that I want you to write in the chat section at the end. So the first thing, I have my little note cards because, is taking ownership of your business. I think one of the biggest things that everyone struggles with when they sign up is, especially when you sign up with some coach that's like, like Andy or Kim, who are successful, have been doing this a really long time. I think you kind of have this impression that like, oh, like I'm signing up with them. Like I'll get there because they're my coach. And while it is a blessing to have coaches who have that experience, who always have answers to your questions, they're not the ones running your business. You have to decide that you are the CEO of your business and that you're a team with your fellow coaches. But they can't do it for you. And once you really accept that, make that decision, I think that for me, that was one of the bigger game changers in my business. I was like, you know what? I need to stop waiting and Andy to just like keep giving me all the answers and all the things. And to be honest with you, I ask Andy a lot of questions. I still ask her a lot of questions every day on Voxer to this day. But I have spent a lot of time on YouTube, learning from anyone and everyone that I possibly could. Every top coach I've watched. I've watched some sort of video. If you have ever watched Danielle Natoni, I'm obsessed. I'm not necessarily obsessed with her, but if you go to her page, she has literally every single top coach, or every coach who's, grown their business in a year to elite, or, whatever it is, like really successful up and coming coaches, or every single week she has a team call and she posts them. And so every week I watch her team call. And I watch the national wake up call. And honestly, that's been a huge part of my personal development journey too. Like I just get so amped when I watch those calls, and I'm also learning things, and usually learning tangible things that I can take away from it. Again, I'm still asking Andy questions all the time. So really taking ownership. Another thing that I decided to do, which I'm not really necessarily recommending for you to do, it's just what I decided to do, was, let me backtrack a little. When you sign someone up, you are promising them something. You are promising them you, and you are obviously going to be there for them, and you obviously can't do it for them, but like they are trusting in you when they sign up. And I take that really, really seriously. And I think that one of the things that has helped me, especially in terms of gaining business building coaches too, is investing in my clients, like a ton. And I don't necessarily mean just like showering them with gifts. I mean like taking time out of your day and checking in on them weekly. Or I actually made a separate group from Tribe because I really just didn't feel like I was able to connect with all of my girls the way that I personally wanted to. I just felt like I wasn't able to give them what I wanted to. So I made this separate group. I'm able to go live in there every single day. They have a sweaty selfie post that they put in, and literally it's fire. And I'm just super blessed. It's just a great, great community of women. They're all encouraging each other, and it's taken some time, but I feel like that decision for me was a game changer. And then I was able to sign like 4 or 5 business building coaches in 1 week a couple months ago, just from being bold and watching them in there, being able to see them rocking it and showing up and encouraging others. And I'm like, that girl can be a coach. That girl like has what it takes. She has passion. She has a fire. She's an encourager, because I'm able to see her do it in that small group. And so that's just been something that I've loved, and I think it's just like I said, it's been a game changer for me. And I just really feel like we need to do a better job. We could always do a better job just investing in our clients. There's something called servant leadership, and it's you're giving more than you're taking still, even in a leadership position. And I just know how important that is. Because often it's just easy to just kind of like throw them in the group and let someone else do it, or especially when we have such big groups, make sure you're taking the time out of your day to go comment on your people. If you're in your challenge group, like if you're in that challenge group, you better be commenting on their post every single day. You better be checking in with them weekly, just giving them what you promised them, which is just easy, in my opinion, I feel like, to not do. So just taking ownership, making sure that you're fully understanding that you are the CEO. You have a team, and they're your family, like Andy and Kim and Andrea and all of you. Like, you're my family, but my business is my girls, and I'm invested in them fully. And I'm just going to keep bringing in girls into that community and just keep nurturing that community. And that also, guys, like when you do that, that is what keeps people coming back. Like, it's the retention. It keeps people coming back, keeps people drinking Shakeology when they see me drinking it every single day. And I'm talking about it in there, and I'm sharing what happens when I don't drink Shakeology. I'm being vulnerable with them in all different circumstances. So yeah, the next thing would be consistency and patience. I think that obviously you all know that there's daily dues that we post up in the team page every single day. Those are obviously just non-negotiables. If you want to grow your business, I don't know where everyone's goals are, but if you want to grow into that 5, 6, figure income, like just doing that every single day is going to grow your business. And I think something that we get caught up in is we don't see the fruit of our labor ASAP, and then we just get frustrated and we quit. You have to understand that what you're doing today, what you did today, is not necessarily going to benefit you right now today. It's going to benefit you down the road. Because once you talk to them and you let them know who you are, that's when they start you get on their radar. They start watching you 30, 60, 90 days from now. That's when it's going to pay off. And there are times where, you can send out a invites and people will sign up. That's for me, that's rare. Like the day of, it has happened, but it's more so rare. But maybe within the week, or maybe within the month, or maybe within, you have to accept that. And you can't get frustrated with the no's and the ghosting, because I can't tell you how many people who have said no and come back, and who have ghosted me time after time after time after time after time, and still signed up at some point. So you just have to stay consistent, keep doing the things, keep following up, keep showing up. And that also means with your posts. I truly believe, like I said with Andy's post, like if I hadn't seen her post, I wouldn't have signed up. Probably. I can't like say for sure, but like I probably wouldn't have signed up. And so that's what's important. There are 400,000 other Beachbody coaches out there. So you need to make sure that you're showing up, you're being vulnerable, and you're posting every single day. That's also just so crucial in sharing your journey, being vulnerable, being bold. Changing it up, I think. So when I first started, I remember I asked Andy for like a script. So like, what are your invites look like? And then I literally copied and pasted and changed a few things because, that weren't about 4 kids or whatever. And I sent them out and like, it didn't work. And then I tried Kim's and like, that didn't work. And then I just made it my own and I made it authentic and it worked. And I think that you just have to be willing to keep trying new things. I think that we just keep trying the same thing because it's worked for someone else. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So you have to be willing to just keep changing it up and find what works for you until it doesn't, and then change it up again. That goes for stories too. I feel like, and posts, like you just have to know what people like enjoy. Like there are sometimes I'll throw up a post where I'll get like 10 likes and I'll be like, okay, well, they don't like that. Like my people don't like that style, that like quote or like whatever it is. So like, I'm probably not going to do that again. I'm going to give them what they enjoy, which is me being vulnerable, and motivating and encouraging and inspiring and real. So that is definitely important to do. Yeah, and then obviously the Success Club tracker. There are so many different variations of it. I love the Slave of the Day tracker. That's my jam. I just feel like it is so, I don't have it up here with me, but it's in the team page. It's called Slave the Day. If you just search at the top of the page, Slave the Day, you'll find it. I literally just printed out 100 of them and put them in a binder, and I keep doing that, simultaneously. And it's just so simple. I love simple. Simple is like my favorite. Lastly is don't stay mad for more than an hour. This is what I try and tell myself. So hard. Or don't stay frustrated, like with yourself or down or feeling that self-doubt. Get out of that as soon as you possibly can. Don't let yourself just steep into that doubt and into those limiting beliefs. Like, just don't let yourself go there. Whenever I personally feel like I'm going there, because it's often, I'm not gonna lie, like, doesn't matter how successful you get at this business, I feel like you're always going to have those days where you just doubt yourself, because it's just this natural instinct that we all as humans have, especially women. And so as soon as I feel that coming on, honestly, I watch a team call. I get on YouTube, good old YouTube. It's my favorite. Or I read a little bit of a book, a chapter of a book, or honestly, I just be extremely, incredibly still and silent, and during nap time or whatever, and I just kind of recollect and reevaluate and go back to my why every single day. Why am I doing this? Why am I spending all this time doing this? And to be honest with you, I think that another reason why I just love that group is just honestly, I think even if I didn't get paid, I would still run that group. Like, that's how much I love it. And that's become a really big part of my why. Like, a part of my why now is just like legitimately like just loving on those girls. Like, I just love it. And they always are just there to encourage. And that's just another amazing part of this whole community. Another thing I heard actually on a podcast once, it was a Rise Up podcast, was a leader never has 2 good days in a row. And I thought that was interesting and so true. There are a lot of times where I'll have a really good day, or maybe I'll sign a couple people, or I just get, a lot of engagement or whatever it is. And then it's crickets for like days. And that's when and it's no's and it's no's and it's no's. And that is when you just have to make an effort as soon as possible to dig into your personal development as soon as possible. Whatever that personal development is to you, podcast, book, video, whatever it is for you, reaching out to your coach, and just talking. There's so many times where I've reached out to Andy just to feel better. And she always is there, and she's always encouraging. And something else that I love about Andy that I do want to mention is just the fact that she's not overbearing. She's really let me be a CEO. And I think that be the CEO of my own business while being the biggest supporter, but not being overbearing, not being micromanaging. And that's something because that's something I'm finding myself now that I have my own team, trying to make sure that I'm doing is a really good job of finding that balance. Because as you continue to grow your team, you're going to add this whole new aspect to your business where you are learning how to communicate with other women and learning how they flourish and how they succeed and how they need to be pushed or not pushed or controlled or not controlled. And I think at the end of the day, you have to remember you are just there to support, to give information, to encourage, to be friends, to do things together. But also you have to let them fly, and you have to let them do things and learn things on their own too, so that they can grow into great leaders. So anywho, that's pretty much all I have. But I wanted to ask, I don't know how many people are actually on. My screen isn't set up with, I'm actually just looking straight at Andy right now. Hi. But if you are listening, I would love for you to actually write in the chat section what your biggest limiting belief is. So, example, today, all day long, I was telling myself how nervous I was for this call. And to the point where I was just like shaking. I'm like, what in the world? I'm not nervous for this call. I'm so excited about this call. But I was telling myself that I was nervous, and then it fed and it fed and it fed. That's a lie. It's a lie. What lie are you telling yourself every single day that's keeping you from growing your business? It's keeping you from doing your Success Club daily news. It's keeping you from posting and being real and being vulnerable and going all in. What is keeping you from doing that? I'm going to write mine first, and it's not the whole line thing about the nervous thing. It's something else. But I would love to see what yours are, and then we're going to, after I see 5 or 6 of them, then I'll just start talking again. It might take some time to think about too. So I don't have a good enough story. I don't have enough people to invite. That's fine too. I'm not as smart and organized as I need to be, or to be successful as I want to be. Making people angry, posting too much on my journey. That's annoying that I don't have enough creativity. Connecting with others. Just all lies. All lies. So I just challenge you to let go of it. Like right now. Right now. You've written it down. I think some of these, like, I feel like I've related to every single one of these at some point. Like, they're all just, they're hard things. They're challenges that we, like, for instance, mine is I've truly get hung up some days on the fact that I don't have people to invite. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not always doing a good enough job connecting and finding new people. And that's just a part of the game. Like it's a part of it. Like you have to do it. It has to be a part of your, maybe even extra than like other things. And I'm just not doing that enough. There's bajillion people in the world. There are people to invite. And just because they're not following me yet, like, I think that it's just, we overthink so much. And I know for me, when I start overthinking and then I get really overwhelmed and then I'm stuck and I don't do anything. Like I don't do anything the rest of the day because I'm just like stressed and I just find myself scrolling and watching and, just, it's a jumble of madness. And so I just challenge you to take a breath, look at what you wrote, and flip it around. Say, I am brave enough to be myself. I'm brave enough to do the things. I'm bold enough to do the things. I do have time. I do have a great story, because every single one of your stories can relate with, like I said, there's a bajillion people in the world. I'm not doing enough, often enough. Can't tell you how many times I've thought that. The end of every single day, even when I get all the things done, I still think, oh, is there more I could do? Am I still doing enough? Like, you just have to be confident in your work. Do the things and let go of the limiting beliefs, because those are just lies that you're feeding in your brain every single day, and they're lies. You can literally be or do whatever the heck you want to do. And that is one of the most amazing parts of doing this and being your own CEO, is that you're in charge and like you set your schedule. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. And so let it go. Let it go. Today, tonight, right now, please. I'm going to let mine go too. And tomorrow's a new day. And yeah, just keep going. Stay consistent and all the things.
You killed it, Cece.
Okay.
I appreciate you so much and everything that you shared tonight. I loved summing up this call with self-limiting beliefs and just letting them go. Kind of a funny story. When we were at the retreat, we were supposed to write all of our self-limiting beliefs on, what are those, paper lanterns? And Emily turned to me and was like, it's illegal. And she literally had pulled it up and showed me. And my first reaction, because I'm a brat, I'm sorry, and Emily's like a sister to me, I was like, oh, you're such a rules follower. And then I'm sitting there as everybody's writing on these lanterns thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to burn down Encinitas. We're going to burn down this $1 million house. Something's going to land in a palm tree. Like, this is bad. And we're going to end up on the news. So we didn't do it. Thank you, Emily. So we brought home our self-limiting beliefs, and I have yours, Emily. I don't know how it ended up in my suitcase, but it's all good. These are things in this business that are going to creep in time and time again. I will tell you that they don't go away entirely, but it's so great to have them brought up in this way so that we can encourage each other to let them go. And just like Cece said, some days things are going to creep in and you need to reach out and tell somebody, hey, I need some help so that we can talk you off the ledge, because it's just human nature. And what we get to do is so incredible and so energizing, but at the same time, sometimes it can feel defeating. And sometimes if we allow the negativity that we put on ourselves, because what we're doing is really awesome and life changing, but if your mindset isn't where it needs to be, that's what makes this hard. So thank you, Cece, for bringing all of this good stuff up. I appreciate everything you said. I think my most favorite thing you said tonight was only be mad for an hour. I feel like that, I feel like I need to put that in like parenting, my marriage, not just my business. So thank you. My husband will appreciate that one. Before you go, I'm going to use a little national wake up call thing. How has Beachbody changed your life, Cece? Putting you on the spot. And then we'll let everybody go to bed.
Well, it's changed my life in a number of ways. I'm just going to talk for another 30 minutes now. I, first and foremost, just Beachbody itself. I've never been able to find a sustainable, I've struggled with binge eating, struggled with, literally I was the girl at the gym running and running and running and running for 30 to 45 minutes a day, eating less than 900 calories, and then, binging for a month, gaining it all back, doing it all over again constantly. Just really grew up with a horrible view of myself, because I've always just been like, I'm what you would call, like, people call big boned. Like, it's just like I'm a bigger human, and which has which has served me well in sports, and many things, but like, it's just, I grew up being picked on about it, and so it's just always been like haunted me. And I'm gonna, like, honestly, I have never felt so freaking proud of my body and like what it's been through, how strong it is now. Like, it may not be perfect, but like, to me it is, and to me it is just like, there's nothing that could bring me down with it. And like, that itself is just the self-love, I guess, that I found through that. And then also just the community has been outstanding. Outstanding. And just the opportunity to make an income and impact my family. My goal is to one day bring my husband home so that we can, so that he can actually pursue something different that he wants to pursue. He really wants to go into the ministry, and we just don't have the opportunity to do that. So that's one of my biggest whys and why I do this. And but yeah, it's impacted me in so many ways, and I love it. Forever grateful that you popped up into my DMs and that I saw that picture.
You're welcome. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, my dishwasher's loud, and now I have a toddler who's thirsty because it's bedtime. Thank you so much, Cece. That was amazing. I love rehearing your story all the time. And I appreciate you for leading this call tonight. It was fantastic. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything before we wrap up tonight?
Oh yeah, any questions?
Just a comment, Cece. I mean, big boned, you rocked it. I think everything you said, I think you just took words like right out of my mouth. So you're not far from me. You're in Ohio. I'm in Indiana. So maybe we should hook up sometime and work out.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're real close. No, thank you.
All right. I hope everybody has a great night.
Okay.
Bye.
Do we want to do a boomerang?
Oh yeah, I'm the worst. I did one, but I didn't tell anybody. It doesn't really count. Who do we lose? Let me stop recording.